Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today we have another Robert's Ranks video for you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago I went through and I watched every single Conjuring movie because the Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, came out, and I wanted to, be prepared and have everything done before that, of course. And of course that way you guys could watch all those leading up to it so you guys are caught up as well. But now it is time to put all my thoughts together into one video, and what did I think about every single one of them in terms of their order and their placement in the ranks of the universe. And so today we are going to be talking about every single Conjuring universe movie ranked. So this is pretty simple. We'll do it the same way we do every other Robert's Ranks video, where we start from the worst and we go to the best, from the increasing order. And there's 8 films that we're going to be talking about, so it's going to start with 8 and then 1, and 1 being the best, 8 being the worst. So let's just jump right in, starting with number 8, which is obviously The Curse of Lilia. This movie was so bad. Like, so bad. Like, not even not even the worst in the series. It's just one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen, ever. It is remarkably bad to the point where I'm almost impressed with how bad it is, because there are some movies in this universe I really love, and then there are these, and it blows my mind. This movie was slow, it had really bad acting, and it just was honestly a waste of my time. And it did nothing for the universe. It expanded nothing. There were hardly any connections to the actual series. It was just a waste of time and not a very good watch. So I recommend you skip this one if you can. I understand why you might have to watch it because, it's part of the series, but it's skippable for sure. Coming in at number 7, we have The Nun. Now, The Nun isn't, the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's pretty close. It's bad. It's really bad. The scares are kind of cheap. I remember seeing this in theaters, and I was pretty scared, but it was also, my first horror movie I ever saw. But now watching it, being older, it's not that scary. The Nun itself is pretty scary, but you don't really get a whole lot of that, honestly, which is really dumb, because it's called The Nun. And it's just slow, and you don't really care about any of the characters, and it's long too. It's not really physically long, but it feels long because it's so freaking slow. And it's not necessarily the worst we've ever seen, but it's pretty bad in terms of the arc of the Conjuring universe. Coming in at number 6, we have Annabelle. Annabelle is a great idea. I think that it works, right? I think that the idea of the creepy doll works. And Annabelle was the first one to really sell the creepy doll, right? We've had other ones where Chucky's there and all that stuff. But, Chucky's cool and all, but it's not, just scary. Chucky's also kind of funny. And, there are also other reasons to go see Chucky. Whereas Annabelle was just marketed as just, a really scary movie. And I think it is pretty scary. I do. I think it worked pretty well in terms of its scares. I think that it planned its characters pretty well. I did like its characters. The only issue is that the whole movie kind of felt like that the whole time. It felt like we weren't rising in anticipation or in the knowing that something bad's going to happen. We were like, yeah, we already know. It's a scary doll. And also, we've already heard the story from the Conjuring movie, so it was kind of a waste of time, but it was a fun movie. I probably will watch it once more, but probably never again after that. It's a fine movie. I can see why people like it. I just don't think it's my favorite, and it's definitely not towards the top of my list here. Number 5, we have Annabelle Creation. Now this got a good step up, I think, and this one shows the beginning of Annabelle and how it was created and all that stuff. And really the first person that was haunted by it. And I think it was a really good idea. I think it worked pretty well. I do. I like the idea. I like the children. The children were easy to get along with. You obviously are rooting for them the whole time. And I liked the setting. I think setting it in an orphanage was really smart for a lot of reasons. And I think it worked quite well. The only issue that I had was like the scares were really cheap. They weren't very good, very well thought out. I do think it was still a little slow, especially for a horror movie. This day and age, like most horror movies need to be quick paced, or it's like you lose your audience really quickly. And I think this one does lose audience pretty quick. But it's not a bad movie, and it's pretty good. I would watch this one again. Coming in at number 4 is The Conjuring 2. This one was hard for me to like. These next 4 were hard to place, but I think this is accurate to where I put them in my brain. And The Conjuring 2 is really good. I do really like the film. It's a fun film. I like the fact that it's set in Britain. I love that. I do. And I like the characters. The characters were really fun. I liked them a lot. The scares are really good here. James Wan has a way of building suspense, which is why James Wan's movies are towards the top of my list here, because he's really good at just building suspense. Be like, for it, scare. And like it works really well. And it's almost cheesy at this point how well it works, because like you know what's coming because it's a James Wan movie. You're like, yep, this is how he does things. But like it just felt like the flow worked really well. I don't think it's quite as good as the first one. I think the first one just holds like a special place in my heart because it's just such a really good horror movie. But it is still a really good movie, and like if you think The Conjuring 2 is your favorite movie, fine. Okay, I get it. It's a good movie, but it's not my favorite. Coming in at number 3, we have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. This is one that came out like last month, or earlier this month when this comes out. It's a good movie. And like I almost feel bad putting it in the same category as everything else, because like it feels like its own entity, right? There's not a whole lot of scares in the film, but it's still in the same universe. There's still the same characters, and I like it a lot. We get to delve deep into Ed and Lorraine. I like how we get a lot into Ed's character a lot, which is really nice. And we don't really develop his character a whole lot in the first 2 films. And I think that it worked. I think that the fact that it was a horror movie, but without a lot of the horror, worked. And honestly, this shouldn't have worked. Like, it didn't have to work. This could have been really bad. This could have been like, because it was marketed as a horror movie that isn't very scary. And it really isn't. And I like the story. I love Arnie here. I think his name is Arnie. I love him. I think he's a great character. I mean, obviously he's based on real life, but like I think he's a really fun character to watch. I love court case films. I do wish, that is one thing I do wish about the film, that it had more court case in it, but that's okay. It's a good film. I like it a lot, and I was really glad I got to watch it. Coming in at number 2, we have Annabelle Comes Home. I really liked this when I watched it. This is the one movie that actually kept me up at night. I was like, oh my god, this is scary. It was a really good film. I think the setting was really good in the Lorraine and Ed Warren house. I liked the characters a lot. I love the Warren's daughter here. I don't know why we didn't get a whole lot of her in any of the other movies, really. I wish we had more of them, because she's awesome. She really is. She's awesome to watch. I really, really, really enjoyed all the characters here. And then, of course, all of the horror aspects worked so well in this house. Oh, it was so cool. It was a really well planned out movie, and one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I will watch this one again. Coming in at number 1, of course, is The Conjuring. This movie is just so original and unique, and like, it's not even like original and unique. It's a haunted house movie, but like, it feels original because it's just so well directed. I think James Wan is really good at his craft. And like, I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of his stuff. I've seen Saw, of course, which was really freaking good. Of course, The Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Aquaman, which granted I didn't really like very much, but that's okay. I'm not a huge DC fan in general. But The Conjuring was really, really solid. It's probably my favorite James Wan movie so far. And it's a really, really good movie, and I really liked it. The pacing is just so good. The horror is fantastic. The story's good. The characters are fun. It's just overall a really, really solid movie. If you get the chance to watch it, check that one out. I know that The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2 are on Netflix. I think the rest of them are not on Netflix, but you can probably catch a lot of them on HBO Max right now if you give it a look. And The Devil Made Me Do It is still streaming on HBO Max, so you got some time. But that's going to do it for me. All the Conjuring universe movies ranked. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the comments below, put down what you guys think you would rank them. Okay, I want to know. From worst to best. I want to know what your rank is. I'm curious. I want to know. So let me know in the comments below. I love talking to people about this kind of thing. It's my favorite thing to do. So that's why I started the YouTube channel. So let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk to you guys about it. And please consider subscribing, because once we hit 150, I'm going to dress up like Spider-Man and go to Walmart. It's going to be freaking hilarious. So make sure you guys are doing that. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.